Hi everyone, I'm Dina and you're watching DIPARTICLE TV.
Hi guys, welcome to our new interview. Today with us we have...
Hi, I am Andreas. I am the singer of Gentihaa, and we're a metal band from Greece.
Yeah, for starters, we can begin with the question. Tell us more about your background, about your genre, about your inspiration for your music, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, sure. So Gentihaa background. It's a band that we released our first album studio around 2019, right? Like 3 months before the COVID-19 pandemic. So
Yeah.
it wasn't like the best kind of period to do that, but that was it. And so our music is the genre is you could categorize it into like black metal and death metal styles, like more like demo border kind of stuff, with like choirs in the vocals and some like power metal vocals maybe, or like more a bit aggressive ones. The guys insist on categorizing it as extreme metal. I just think that's like black metal with some clean vocals. That's it. It's not something so special. It's just Georgie's writing his black metal things, and I'm just doing my thing over there. I'm not a black metal singer. Okay. I never was, so I'm just trying to do what I know over that music, and that's what's coming out. So I guess the genre is that, and so our first album, as I said, was like September 2019. Well, we started off with some big shows with some big names in and out of Greece, some shows of our own as well. After like 3 or 4 months passed, we had the COVID-19 pandemic, which did not let us, unfortunately, and a lot of other artists out there lost track of their shows, the record albums, and etc. for like 1 or 2 years, depending on where you're from, I guess, Europe, US. And hopefully now we'll see more and more shows, more and more tours from small and big bands.
We are all hoping for that.
Yeah. We hope for us that this summer is going to be like, we have booked a couple of shows, and we hope it's going to be okay and not get canceled again.
You are now answering all of my questions.
Oh no, sorry. Oh yeah,
no,
okay.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But we will get to that. We will get to that.
I'm just getting ahead of myself. It's just
no. That's amazing. That's amazing. I love when everybody talks. That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm really talking.
That's great. This is an interview, so you should be.
Okay. Okay.
Well, you told me already something about your first album, but I read something about it, about the theme of the album. It's like a futuristic story based on a novel. It's very interesting. Can you tell me something about it?
Yeah. So when George approached me to sing for the band, he laid the music down for me, and he said, I need someone to sing. I said, okay. So when I sing, there are 2 things someone tells me. They are telling me what to sing, not specifically, but in general. They're like, okay, don't scream, or don't do clean vocals, or don't do this, or don't do that, or just move around this area. So George answered, just do whatever you want. And I answered, and that's I'm quoting myself, so I can like do Disney vocals. And he said, do whatever the fuck you want. So that was the first thing that intrigued me. And the second one was, so what should I write about? And he said, do whatever the fuck you want. So I'm like, okay, that was like the first time that I had fully, but I was like artistically free completely. So I asked myself, what would I want to write about? And the thing I do the most is like, shout out to the people out there who like read ebooks and short stories on the internet and stuff like that. There's this forum that I really like. It's called Slate Star Codex, and there's one writer in particular that I really like. He's called Scott Alexander. So this Scott Alexander has written a story that's called "And I Will Show You How Deep the Rabbit Hole Goes," as a reference to Morpheus of the Matrix, I think. So this story takes like what I think it was internet meme, a thing with, it was a picture with 8 pills, 8 colored pills, like a yellow one, a blue one, a red one, a black one. I don't remember all of them. And each pill gave you a separate superpower. And it was like an internet thing to post it on social media and ask people, okay, what would you pick? If you had to pick one, what would you pick? And like the red one gives you super strength, and like the pink one lets you love your loved one.
I saw something similar.
Yeah,
cruising around the internet. Yes,
it was like very common. Yes, for some time it was like very common. So this guy Scott Alexander, I don't know if he created it or if he just took the meme. But he wrote a story on the forum about that. So he wrote a story about 8 people taking those pills, and I just started reading like, let's see what that is. And then when I finished it, it was like, oh my god, this should be like the one of the best internet stories I've ever read. So it's it's a story about 8 people taking those pills, and in Scott's opinion, how would that story turn out? I mean, you take a pill that gives you the ability to communicate with animals. How would that end? How would that story end in the real world, in his opinion? And it's actually pretty, it's not that realistic, but it's as realistic as it can get in a I don't know, in a fantasy book spectrum. So yeah, the story ends. It gets pretty dark. I'm not gonna spoil that for you. You should read that if you want. It gets pretty dark in the end, and it's really shocking what's happening. But let's say it's kind of futuristic. It gets kind of futuristic and all sciencey and all sci-fi fantasy.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, so that was exciting for me, and I had 8 tracks, so the pills were 8 as well. So I figured I should write. Each track should be written about an individual pill, color. So that's why the titles of the songs are one word. And they are trying to represent what the pill is trying to give you. And I tried to, and I think I succeeded on that. I tried to write each track so it says the individual story of the pill and of the one who took it. And at the same time progressing the whole story, which is, let's face it, after I wrote it and I read it and I heard it, it's impossible to do if you haven't read the story. It's impossible. But if you
I have a question. Does Scott, his name is Scott, right?
Yeah.
Does Scott knows about it?
Oh God, no.
Why? Why not? Why not?
Oh well, I don't know. I mean, it just I hadn't, true story. So my best friend is obsessed with this forum and some of the writers, including Scott Alexander, and he was in the UK like 2 months ago. And he was at a convention where Scott was, and I told him, please just tell him that there's someone out there who wrote us an album about it, his story. And he said, okay. And he forgot. End of story.
Well,
So
if you used his idea as an inspiration, I think it would be amazing if he knows about it, because he's an author. So that should be
I guess
maybe he's interesting in to know that he influenced somebody, you know?
Yeah, I guess I might. I don't know. I mean, I could like send him as a band
Of course.
through social or mail.
Maybe he will listen to this.
Maybe.
You never know.
Maybe, yeah, but maybe he doesn't listen to black metal, so.
Well, I think that matters.
Know.
I don't think that matters. What matters is the story, you know? You created something as some kind of a second story based on the first one, you know?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, it's like it's like your interpretation of his story. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay, then. Well,
yeah,
it's like a review.
So, yeah, it's like a review of his story, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. A screaming
review. a
screaming review.
Futuristic, heavy, extreme.
Okay.
How was the feedback?
Great.
The album? How was the feedback?
Well, so on one hand, in the Greek metal scene, first of all, there was a lot of feedback. So we had a couple of big bands inviting us to play as feedback. Here we had the feedback on outside Greece. It was great. The reviews, the interviews, the reaction to our music video. And actually and we had agencies outside Greece inviting us to play at a lot of shows. It was actually one of the greatest first impressions I've ever done with a band. You know, because it was like a lot of flashy and showy, and it was like the concept was good. The makeup and the clothes and the artwork and the composition and it was like really good for something that was just starting out. Yeah, and on the other hand, the feedback on the concept of the album, when I wrote it, I was 100% sure that nobody would get it.
Yeah.
I'm like, if I don't explain that, you won't get it. And I haven't written anywhere on there like inspired by Scott Alexander's Slay Narcotics. I didn't do that.
Maybe you should have. Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe I should have. Yeah, I don't know.
If it is inspired, I think maybe it should be like a good idea.
Yeah.
Maybe write down his name.
Yeah.
Speaking of intellectual property ideas,
it should be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it is.
Yeah, and also it's like it's good. It's good to put someone's name. You know.
It's good. So maybe. That being said, there was this one random guy on Reddit that he like tagged the band on his social, posted the music video and said, "Is this about this particular story? Do we have a metal band doing that?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, thank you. You're the only guy out there that got it. I don't know how you got it. It's so fucking hard, but you're the man."
Great.
I mean, yeah. So there was one guy who got it. So okay, that's not it.
Well, maybe the point is not that everybody should like get it. You know, everybody can have their own interpretation of your songs.
Yeah, of course.
The point of music,
course.
One of the.
Of course, yeah.
So
of course. Sure.
Okay. Recently, you released a video, Beyond.
Yeah.
What can you
Beyond,
tell
yes.
me about it? Who's behind the video?
Okay, so you mean like the technical parts, like the crew?
The idea, the
Oh,
visual
the idea.
concept. Yeah.
Okay, so uh Beyond was I mean, marketing wise was done for a couple of reasons. First of all, we have two big shows coming up this summer, and we needed to get out there a little before doing the shows, because it's like it's 2022 and we released our record on the late 2019. Like, it's been 2 years and a half, and we always talked about doing another music video from that album because it would be a shame to have only one. So these are two of the reasons that we did Beyond, and the concept behind it. So there's this old building in the center of Athens that's like 125 years old.
Okay.
That we always wanted to record something there. We didn't know it would be like, a photo shooting or video or something like that, or a concept. So we did a music video, and it was like, the place was really charming. It was like really these black metal-y vibes, like a lot of flesh cut apocalypse kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, with a couple of candles, red lights, a bit of darkness, and like smoke and stuff. It came together pretty well. So concept-wise, with track, it's not something that's connected. Gentihaa, in general, their image tends not to be connected with the concept of the first album. The only image that's connected is the artwork itself of the first one.
Yeah.
And I was afraid that would be like a problem in the beginning. I was like, okay, I wanna do this concept, but we are dressing like, I don't know, like Kiss and Manowar in black. What's that about?
Okay.
Like the black metal kind of guys. But then I realized that there was going to be a second album and there was going to be a third album, and they are going to have different concepts. So what are we going to do? Like, change clothes and appearance in every album? I mean, that could be a case, but then you would have no branding.
Yeah.
If you come out like a black metal kind of guy in the first album, and like a chicken on the second, and like I don't know, white trooper on the third, like all snowy stuff and stuff. I mean, that's not good for your branding, because people don't know who you are. So we decided that Gentiha's image in general would not be connected to the concept. It would be something we liked, something we thought expresses the sound. And the second music video tried to follow in the steps of the first. And that's about it. It was nothing that really special. It was like, let's find like artistically good background, and do what we do best on camera.
Great. Okay. You mentioned your second and third and fourth album.
Oh yeah.
You are now working on your second album, on new material. What can you share with us? If you can share some details.
Okay. A lot of stuff are strictly confidential. George would kill me if I
of course,
if I release anything. But so what I can tell you is, first of all, we are working on George has like had half the album ready before the first began in his computer. I mean, nowhere special. And he started recording stuff. He started recording stuff like 1 year ago, maybe. I believe 1 year ago it was.
Okay.
Or maybe a couple of months more. I don't really remember. But it was like during the pandemic. So it was a good chance for us during the pandemic to start writing a second album, like many of the bands, many of the bands out there. I believe, like,
yeah.
It's all
that's the case. That's the case.
Yeah, that's a good thing, because like we are going to have a big load of material, I believe, this summer from a lot of bands, and we already have the past summer.
A lot of creativity comes from, depression, anxiety.
Yeah, but it's like it's the
closed
same
spaces,
vacuums,
it's the same lockdowns.
Core. Yeah, it's the same core of creativity, though, and I hope not everyone gets really dark about it, and because everybody got inspired from these.
Yeah, it depends on the band, I think. It depends on the band's themes, it depends on inspirations and ideas.
Exactly. Exactly. So what I can tell you more about it is, so he started writing it, and the way we write is that George writes a track. He writes it with the guys. He arranges it with the rest of the guys, and they're giving it to me to do my thing. So that can take a lot of time. That can take up a lot of time for 3 reasons. First of all, I get to say my opinion about changing stuff in the track, like not that, Rafe, change that or put that there, or that would be better for me, I believe, and then testing on it to see if I was right. I may have been wrong in changing stuff and then changing them back.
Yeah.
So that takes up a lot of time, the first one. And the second one is that it was the past year, it was a grand period of recording for me with 2 of my other bands as well. And so I was like, the past year was creating music for 3 albums.
Oh my God.
And so, yeah, and the pandemic, it's not something I'm not used to, because my life is like a lot of things all the time. So things, when a lot of things happen to my life, different things, they help me create. But during the pandemic, all I did was like everybody else, sit in a room in front of my computer, like maybe playing a lot of games, talking with my friends, working from home. And there was no difference in my life. There was no, I mean, all the same things happened every day. So I started writing for one leg of my bands, and then I got stuck. And then I didn't have anything to write about. I didn't have anything to say, and not only concept-wise, but melody-wise. The vocal lines were not. I was writing the same thing over and over. I was like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this?
Yeah.
So anyway, I had an inspiration moment there, and I got really, really stuck. And I delayed everything with most of my tracks that I had to do. So by the time I was ready for it, George had ready a whole album. And it was like recorded as well. And the only thing that was missing was my voice. And I was like, okay, I think I'm ready to do this. And I'm taking it slow, one step at a time. And I got in the studio in like September. And it's like an 8 or 9 track, I believe, album. We're going to decide whether 8 or 9 tracks will be there, depending on what is being written and the concept at the end.
Yeah.
And 4 of the tracks are actually completed on my part and on everybody's part. And we are on our way to complete the other 5 or 4. They are really close to finishing. So the plan is for the album to be out before summer.
Great.
So I cannot say anything about the concept because, as I mentioned, George won't let me. But but I can tell you that if you like the concept of my previous album, this is gonna be bigger.
Okay.
I'm gonna go bigger and wider, and with something that more people know. I mean, it's not something like that big of a deal, but not many people know Slate Sarcotics and Scott Alexander. So I'm going to be working with something that more people are going to recognize and the references in it. And it's going to be a concept album again, and the tracks are going to be connected.
Great.
And like the previous one, this is going to be the
it's
deal
like
with
a
Gentihaa.
long, big story.
Yep, this is going to be the deal with the Gentihaa albums in general.
Great, that's amazing. You mentioned concerts, so there is a plan to have shows this summer, you said?
Yeah.
Do you maybe have a promotional tour in mind?
Yeah.
Or something like that?
Yeah, we do. We had a couple of invitations for Europe tours, mainly. So we are going to do a couple of them for now, starting September. Many of the deals that we were going through, they were like the earliest were like July. Some of them were like June, but none earlier of that. And that was like these talks were, if I remember correctly, like October or November. It was like this fall. So like before summer, most of the agencies were not expecting for the pandemic to calm down or the so earliest we are going to tour is September, if I am correct, and nothing else comes up like earlier. Other than that, we have a couple of big festivals that I cannot mention any names right now, unfortunately.
Oh my God. You can tell
I
me.
know. I mean,
you can tell me anything.
Like you called me before the interview and
can you tell me at least where, in which countries?
Oh, it's going to be in Greece. It's the biggest festival in Greece, but
well, you told everything now, so but some other countries though, maybe, I don't know, Germany.
Starting September. That's going to be starting September.
Okay, that's amazing. Do you maybe have in mind Croatia or no?
I have no idea. Croatia might be in one of the tourist destinations. I had to check. I will have to check again. But nothing is booked, so I cannot really freely speak about it because it might not be booked at the end.
Okay, we will have to do a follow-up interview then. Yeah,
we would. I mean, when the album comes out, I will know everything. I will be able to talk about everything, and all the shows will be more clearer. Because that's a deciding factor as well for touring. I mean, we unfortunately the first album is not enough because it's kind of old now, like 2.5 years ago. But for us, it's like yesterday because pandemic. But
it is like the last 2.5 years. It's like
it was like true.
And then when you think about, I don't know, 2019, it was like recently, No, it wasn't.
3 months ago, right?
Wasn't.
3 months ago.
The same thing happened to me today. I was like, well, it was 2019, it's like, it's here.
It's here. Like, no, it's like, dude, it's like 3 years ago. Oh my God.
Life is passing. Quickly.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have maybe any other thoughts you want to share with us? Sorry if I interrupted you.
Oh, no. It's you can go on.
If you have any other thoughts you want to share with us, you can do it.
Oh.
We are at the end of the interview, so.
Okay. I would like to, if we have like 5 minutes to talk about the name, Gentihaa.
Well, maybe we have 2 minutes, not 5, but okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So it's 2 minutes. So Gentihaa, it's a really kind of stupid story, to be honest. So we were like looking for a name, and we were all together, and we're like, I don't know, drinking and eating and just chilling. And we all agreed that it should be something like short, not that long, like one word at best, and if we can, and to stand out. If you like Google it or YouTube it, nothing else will come out, and that's like, that would be important for us.
Good idea.
So yeah, so one guy was like reading, I don't even fucking remember, was it like the Bible of Satan, or it was like satanic things and demon stuff, and he's like a really black metal guy, and he's like, I found this name out, it's a name of a demon, and it said Gentihaa, and but it was
sounds like it, if I can be honest.
It sounds like, doesn't it? Yeah. It was written in a circle, in a like Gentihaa, and it was ending where it was beginning. It was like, that's really cool. Yeah, Gentihaa. I can work with that Gentihaa, Gentihaa. And then we got working, and albums and logos and artworks and shirts, and then he realized that he was reading it backwards, and it was Ha-Genti. It was not Gentihaa. So we were like, shit, what do we do?
Nothing, because it's even more amazing. It's even more amazing.
We can like tell another story if they ask us. Okay, and that's the band.
Oh my God.
That's it.
But that's even, you know, for the best. Because but it's a new name wise, completely, you know. It's more original in this way.
Yeah, it is marketing wise.
Yeah.
But anyway,
that's a good story, though.
I just wanted to share that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Okay. Good.
It was really nice talking to you.
Thank you, Dina. Thank you for having me here.
Of course.
I hope we'll talk again in the future.
Yeah, we will. We will do a follow-up interview once the album comes out.
Great.
Guys, you should follow their work, please. And of course, you need to subscribe to our channel if you are interested in our interviews and our upcoming work. Thank you so much for watching us, and stay tuned for our next interview.
Get them all!